92%, you already know what time it is. That's right. We got a very special guest episode for you today. We have got Erin Andrews and Charissa Thompson on the show. What?
Are we the first females to be on this podcast since a certain incredible interview?
We'll almost have the same views.
A lot of great stuff about their careers.
I worked in Olympics with him. Nobody could outdrink
who their favorite athletes are to interview.
Hi, I'm Erin Andrews. I work on College Game Day, but you're my first crush ever. And shut up.
Boyfriend whistles.
I'm ordering a whistle right now off Amazon. Steve, you're going to have a long night ahead of you, sweetheart.
Parenting.
Everything should revolve around you sitting your ass on the couch. Still being a great dad.
Sports.
You know how much shrimp etouffee I had working at ESPN?
Fathers.
Grabbed my dad and started swinging him around like a rag doll.
A lot of great stuff coming up right now.
And I just invited myself over to the Kelce household for Thanksgiving.
Charissa, we're having a turducken! Alrighty, our guests today are two legends in the sports media world.
Hey,
you know them from Fox NFL Sunday, Thursday Night Football, and as the co-hosts of the Calm Down podcast. They covered Super Bowls, the World Series, BCS championships, NBA All-Star games, celebrity diving competitions, and even spelling bees. That's right. Between them, they've got an Emmy, a Pat Summerall Award, and a third place finish on Dancing with the Stars. Two of the most requested guests we've ever had on the show. 92%ers. Please welcome Erin Andrews and Charissa Thompson.
Erin doesn't break those pom-poms out for nothing.
Here we go.
That intro is everything
you know, I keep them locked down.
Hi, guys. Thanks for
what's
having
going
us.
on?
I was fired up too. Get out.
Bring them back. Come on, all of your children.
Can we make the joke, Charissa? Are we the first females to be on this podcast since a certain incredible interview that you had? And we're going to be...
we'll almost have the same views.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
In this one. Mm-hmm.
We're just lucky enough to have you guys on here. I got to know, who did the spelling bee?
And I'm like you, Trav. I can't read. I mean, I can't read or speak. I can't.
She just took at you, Trav.
Admittedly so.
Everyone knows at this point. They got to, right?
Self-professed.
Yes.
By Travis. Yes.
If I can't read, I sure as hell can't spell. That's the damn truth.
You and Julian Edelman. Jules also says that he can't read. So there's that. And he says he likes big men. So there's that. Well,
nice.
I appreciate you guys including the diving competition. Respectfully, I say this, that the diving competition that I hosted on ABC was more of a flop than it was a splash, which was the name of it.
Oh,
they were like, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on a, 35-meter platform and see what happens. I was like, whose idea was this? So needless to say, there was not a season 2.
And I'd like to say third place was I lost. She won the competition to Nicole Scherzinger, Pussycat Doll. She had been in performing art school since she was 14 years old. And I got third place to Evan Lysacek, who had just won the gold medal for figure skating in the Winter Olympics. If I had been asked to read a box score, I would have fucking won. You know what I mean?
That's right, Erin. That's right. You know what?
I would have.
That's a banger.
You're number one in our heart.
Thank you.
You were first place in my mind. All right, let's get into it. You guys have interviewed both me and Jason. Who's a better interviewee?
Interviewee, yeah.
Interviewee? Oh,
you
you
guys
guys. Well, I had the great privilege of interviewing you both at the same time. I don't know when
Yes,
this
you
was.
did.
This was like 10 lifetimes ago. It's got to be at least 10 years ago that I sat down with you guys for NFL
At
film.
least. I think it was Jason's Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it was, we were by your old high school because NFL Films was doing a feature on you guys. And so I sat down with both of you and it was so wonderful. And that's when I learned, Travis, that you wear number 87 because of Jason.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
let him tell you.
Which
that.
Jason's
That's the biggest
still
load
not
of
buying
shit.
it.
He's not.
How is that a load of shit?
Did not pick that number because of that. You've somehow
Yes, I did.
retroactively worked this in. There's no way.
It was the only number that I had a connection to.
You just like Tony Gonzalez, and what did you wear 87 for? What did you wear 87 for?
We went over this in the interview that Charissa had with us in Cleveland.
Travis told me that he wears number 87 because that's the year that Jason was born. And I thought that was so nice.
And that's how it all started. Without Jason, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Exactly.
Now say it back, Jason.
Without Travis, I'd be way more successful than I am.
I'm holding him back.
Complete opposite.
On the flip side, though, Jason has been known to be the, the What was the
reading?
woman that everyone's calling you?
No,
I was. No, I wish I was at this point. Jason has been known as a journalist himself now, being with ESPN. What do you think of his interviewing skills?
Were you going to say Barbara Walters?
There it
That's
is.
what he was going to say.
Diane Sawyer.
I was like Sandra
That's what
Walters.
you were going to say.
Sandra Walters.
Sandra Walters.
Barbara Walters.
Oh, gosh,
I think you're killing it, Jason. We saw you. I don't know where we saw you recently, but yeah, I think you're doing an amazing job. I will tell you though, we were just making a joke about, when you guys had Taylor on. Charissa and I were both saying after that, you nailed that.
Crushed.
You freaking crushed
That's
that.
so hard.
And actually, I'm going to ask you some questions right now. Pre-prepared. I mean, because you just were banging them out.
We have a great editing team. They're very good. And I think anybody could have done a good job interviewing Taylor. She was fantastic. And I don't know. I appreciate you saying that. It was a lot of fun.
You did a good
putting
job,
that interview together. I'm terrible. I can't interview anybody. I flip over my words. I stumble.
No, you don't.
But that was a fun one for sure.
I've been in production meetings with you. Remember? I don't know. We were sitting in the back. We were sitting with you and Tom Rinaldi'd you, and he asked you something about a family member. Yeah, you started bawling in our production meeting. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember it. Tom Rinaldi can make anybody cry.
Oh yeah,
that guy is just like perfect at tugging at the heartstrings. But I've been known to shed a couple tears. I try to hold it back. Like I know that I'm not supposed to, but I can't not do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay, you go ahead. This is your podcast. You ask the questions.
I want to hear.
Please take this over.
They want to hear from you guys. They've heard enough from us.
Well, because the last time that I saw you, you were a guest, like a week guest on, not a week guest. Don't take that out of context. Don't edit that out. You were a great guest. You were, we were in Chicago and we did the kicking contest, but on Thursday Night Football, you came in and you filled in for the week and it was awesome. And just, were a guest of ours, but I haven't seen you since then. And so obviously now with, almost a full year under your belt in broadcasting, what's been the biggest surprise for you?
Oh man, how much travel it is and how much more you have to lock into everything across the whole NFL.
Yeah.
Like I think when you play, you get so used to just focusing on your team and who you're playing that week. And a lot of times you kind of don't know what's happening holistically across the whole league. Now I'm probably watching more football than I've ever watched because you have to watch as many games as possible. You're watching press conferences. You're doing all these things that as a player, you just don't pay attention to. And then on top of that, every week's an away game. Every week you're traveling. And that is awesome in some ways. You get to go to a lot of cool cities and there's not as much pressure as playing, but at the same time, it is a lot of travel. So I enjoy the ability to stay involved with the games. I like the fact that we get to go to the games, so we get to see players and coaches. But I would say those are the two things that probably were the most getting used to.
Can I ask, now that you aren't playing in the game, but you're watching from the viewpoint that we have every week, is there a particular stadium or area that you've been to and you're like, this is awesome.
Ooh.
This is really cool?
Oh man, I hate to say this and Eagles fans are going to be furious. I never liked playing in Jerry World. I hated that stadium.
Isn't it the best?
It's fucking awesome. It's a cool spot as a spectator. I'll admit.
Do you have the chicken fingers there yet? Fire.
Oh yeah, everything. I mean, they've done a really good job with that place from a viewing standpoint. Vegas is like a show. It feels like you're at a legitimate concert there, which we were just there this week. So I think that's probably just fresh. And then, there's the places you'd like playing as a player too. There's a charm to it as well. I've always loved going to the Packers Stadium for much different reasons than Jerry World. It's awesome. So yeah. And then trying to think of another spot that would be Bills. I think it's of
course.
I can't wait to see the new stadium when they build that, what it feels like, but I've been enjoying the last couple seasons.
You know what it looks like? Jason, it looks like from the outside, it looks like Allegiant Stadium. It looks like that that same design, kind of spaceship thing. But I kind of miss that I don't know. I mean, the nostalgia of Orchard Park is its own.
It's going to be hard you can't replicate it.
No.
I am happy that it's open though. We're going to still see Buffalo snow games.
I get this year, I've never really in my career done a massive like snow game, and I wanted to so bad. You watch these people like Rams Philly playoff game last year. I wanted to do something like that so bad where I just look like Ralphie and Randy in Christmas Story.
I got Jameis Winston.
Oh yeah, you did.
Jameis Winston doing Snow Angels. Yes, in Cleveland. And then they made the playoff. Yeah, it was really fun. But sorry, go ahead.
No. But we're doing Philly at Bills, I believe, later. I think it's right after Christmas. So the potential of, a snow globe game could be fire.
Please.
So it'd be exciting.
Up there on the lake.
Yeah.
It's almost a guarantee. You're going to get a little bit of snow.
Oh, for sure. I hope so.
Was that the Jameis Winston? How lucky are we? How lucky are we to be playing football in Cleveland, Ohio?
Exactly. And he's talking about the cavalry with the horses and the whole thing in Kelly's pregame interview.
Isn't football just better when Jameis is starting?
Yes. It's not even a question. Also, too, because from our vantage point, I just think about the reporters. Like when he stands up there at the podium, like, you're going to get something, even if it's bad. Obviously he ends that game by throwing the interception and he still is like positive. And you're like, this guy is the ultimate optimist.
He's won at life. I got to shoot that question back to you guys, though. Going into every single NFL stadium all over the country, which one's your favorite to visit?
Hit it, CT.
Well, the nostalgia of Lambeau is always number one. I mean, that is football. So that's number one for me. But also, Arrowhead's great, too. I'm not just saying that because it's you, Trav. It's because it hasn't gone corporate. And as much as these big stadiums are great for some reason, you start to lose that feel. Your stadium is very much like a college field because the fans are right on top of the field and you don't have all the suites down below and that kind of stuff. I also love, Charlotte has some bangers. I always like
they play some tunes. Yeah.
Remember in Santa Clara at Levi Stadium, the music, Erin and I are big on the DJs. If they've got some music, Atlanta, obviously.
They're playing some Pretty Pablo or?
They've got good music. Of course.
North Carolina, motor razor.
So good. Like a helicopter. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, in Atlanta, you get Luda every other second. So it's good. Yeah. What about you, Erin?
I feel like because I've been doing this 100 years, it's the little things like Jerry's World. They take care of you. It's inside. I mean, I know the players have the sun in their eyes and that sucks for a 425, game, but me, I'm looking great. The chicken fingers are fire. I love going to the link because, obviously, it's fun. Great hotel, fire dinner the night before. Dom, I know he's trying to take care of the team, but he's looking out for the girl, which I appreciate. You need an IV, you need to work out. Fine. Dom will take care of me. I'm into it. Lambeau's fire. Like it's always such a fun time. I've done games -10 there. I've done games that are hot there. I've done games that we didn't think it was supposed to snow and all of a sudden it did. It's just a pain in the butt getting to. I love you, Wisconsin. You're so much fun. Once we're there, it's a time, but man, it's hard getting out.
I'm going to tell you what, she misses Troy Aikman's plane is what she misses. Because I got the Al Michaels set. My shit's in and I'm out. Thanks, Al.
Boy Al.
You know who's taking advantage of the Troy Aikman plane these days is Swagoo. Swagoo's always hopping on.
Oh, I bet. He better not be in my seat.
He keeps calling Troy his best friend, so he keeps that plane situation fresh.
I bet he does. You're all FBO is your best friend. Got it.
We were talking about Jerry's World. I'm actually going to Jerry's World on Thanksgiving.
You are.
You guys have a few Thanksgiving games, I believe, and a Black Friday game as well, right?
Yep.
What's that like doing hosting a holiday game? And is that any different than the actual ones, or is it just kind of getting away from the family? Or
since I've gone into this industry, because I used to do Thursday night football with Mike Tirico, Kirk Herbstreit, we had a group together. I mean, we were doing West Virginia games, and Louisville, West Virginia on Thursday. Yeah. So it's hard, but I think it's, Chris and I say it all the time to women that ask us about being in the industry. It's one of the best jobs, but you have to love it because, in the morning on Thanksgiving, you're sitting in a hotel room watching the Macy's Day Parade, but then you have a front row seat to some of the best athletes in the world. So it's also pretty badass because we have some amazing games that we get to watch.
And I just invited myself over to the Kelce household for for Thanksgiving.
Come on over, Chris.
So yeah, it's great. And then I'm going to be with you, Trav, in Kansas City. We got Broncos Chiefs on Christmas.
So fun.
How do you like playing on Christmas? Because you did it last year too.
You do.
Fucking love it.
Why?
Yeah, I do. I love it. I just, I think I have a blast going outside and just playing the game I love on a day like that, when I know everybody's enjoying their families together, or sitting around a campfire, or sitting around the chimney or the Christmas tree, watching the games at home. And I just know I can almost feel the excitement of Christmas that everyone else is enjoying while I'm on the field. And I don't know. Aww. It's just, it's a fun atmosphere. I've had the pleasure of playing, I think, 3 games on Christmas, and each and every single one of them I had a blast in. And on top of that, I get to have everybody come through to Kansas City. Christmas in KC this year, so it'll be a good time.
That's right.
Those games just feel different. They do. Like Thanksgiving, we all on Fox, we pay tribute to John Madden, which is really, really special. So that day just feels different for us. Yeah.
The turducken. Mm-hmm. You guys ever had the turducken?
I have never had one. I've always wanted to. I don't even know where you get that.
I'll get one sent to your house. They send us all one. Yeah, we'll get them for you guys.
Charissa, we're having a turducken.
Goddamn right. By the way, I'm packing that on air, Al, and I'll see you in Philadelphia. It is so good.
Can you fry a turducken, or does it have to be roasted? Well, how do you cook a turducken?
That's a great question.
Why not?
Well, because there's stuffing on the inside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of things in there. Hey, one guy that we all love on this podcast a lot, Greg Olson. We had Greg Olson eat a turducken one year, and it was just like,
He went crazy.
Oh my God. So good. Hands through the hair, by the third quarter, it was so fabulous.
Yeah. Forget the gel. It's just straight grease.
Jason likes to do a fried turkey.
Yeah, we do too.
Like frying. I prefer the fried.
Same.
Bird.
No, I'm saying you like to fry your turkey on Thanksgiving.
I'm frying it.
Yeah.
Same.
All right. I
Get just want to make sure. Oil.
Yeah.
Wait, you actually do it, Jace?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Jared does it too.
Yeah.
He's gone through 3 fryers.
I do tend to leave the oil in the fryer outside for too long, and then we got to pitch the fryer. But yeah.
So what's the key to a perfect fried turkey?
Got to brine it. Definitely make sure that it's completely thawed and there's no, it's not frozen. All that leads to a disaster. You don't want that. You got to make sure you get the fill line properly, right? Because obviously
proper fill line.
When you put the turkey in, the oil is going to come up. So you don't want that oil too high, but you want enough that it's going to cover the bird. But yeah, you brine it. There's an injector. One of our former strength coaches told me, I forget the name, but there's a specific injector of like butter, Creole seasoning. Wow. That you inject right before you put it in the fryer. It is real good. Very good.
Yeah.
That's about it. Yeah.
We love it.
Can't wait.
Put the seasoning on the outside of it. Yeah.
They're good. I feel like once you fry turkey, you can't go back. Jared does one every year. I love it.
I'm with you 100%. How did you guys decide to want to do this with your lives? What leads to becoming a broadcaster, journalist in sports?
Erin and I have very similar motivations. I'll let her tell her side of the story, but mine was because I loved hanging out with my dad, and he would watch football every Sunday. I would beg my mom to miss church so I could just hang out with my dad. I would sit next to him, and I had one simple rule. I wasn't allowed to talk. He would teach me the game. If I had a question, I'd have to raise my hand, and he would teach me the game of football. And it was because he's like, hey, I'm not going to have you yapping over here the whole time. So I will teach you the game.
Hilarious.
But you know what, Jason, you'll appreciate this. And Travis, when you have kids as well, he would make everything a game, right? So he's like, all right, we're going to play school. So you're going to raise your hand and I'm the teacher and I'll teach you and those kinds of things.
Nice.
He also had long hair. And so it was like, if he wanted to be lazy and watch us, he's like, okay, I'm the patient. I broke my leg. I can't get off the couch. So fix my broken leg. So every game he played revolved sitting on the couch and it was still playing with us. It was genius.
Brilliant.
He's like, he had long hair and he's like, look, I need my hair cut. You got to fix my hair. Again, hasn't moved from the couch. But anyways.
I need to get some of these games.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this.
You're playing games all wrong, Jason.
Everything should revolve around you sitting your ass on the couch and still being a great dad. But yeah, he loved sports. So I love sports. And I had a brother who played baseball growing up. I played sports growing up. And for me, sports was so much a part of who I was growing up. And so I was a big believer that anything I could do professionally that kept me in sports was the ideal situation. Work as a team. We win together. We lose together, all of that. And I just loved the idea of being able to have a profession that involved sports and worked around it. So, that's sort of my motivation. And then, the path to actually getting on air is a little circuitous, but yeah, I started in HR because I just wanted to get in the building, went through everyone's files, ended up blackmailing them. No,
smart.
I'm kidding.
So smart.
You got
very
me.
clever.
I was like, oh, this is great.
I have this on you. Let me do. Yeah.
Who have you been hanging out with? I got in the building through HR and ended up in production and then, different things from there. But no, I just have always loved sports. So that's sort of my quick 20-second background.
It was awesome. I love it.
Mine's my dad. He's from New England, big, Celtics, Red Sox. He grew up liking the Packers because he always said the Patriots were so bad that they were blacked out in Massachusetts. That's how bad they were.
Oh, no.
So I grew up my dad's a great storyteller. He was on television forever and he just explained it to me very much not like Chris's dad. I wasn't, taking care of him. No, I'm joking, but he would just make these people sound like my friends. And unfortunately, I grew up thinking that they were. I was obsessed with the Celtics. I wanted the Red Sox to win a World Series so bad for my father. I loved sitting back and watching Brett Favre, do his thing with my dad. And then there was never another option. Well, actually it was like, I want to be a sports broadcaster or I'm going to be a marine biologist, which, whoa.
Wow.
Okay.
Wildly different. Okay.
Sure. So, let's be honest. We all know how smart I am. I don't think that would have worked out, but I love it so much. I went to the University of Florida. I told my dad because, if you have a good football team, college football team, the ESPNs, the CBSs, they'll be there. I just wanted really fun Saturdays. And then because I grew up thinking these guys were my friend, I've had multiple encounters with Larry Bird. I met him and I told him everything about my life in 1 minute and absolutely vomited my life story about how he is my everything. Called my dad right away and I said, holy shit, Dad, I just met Larry Legend. I think I embarrassed myself. I talked about all this stuff and he goes, oh my God, can you go back and say I'm sorry? I'm like, no, Dad. Kevin McHale in an airport one time, ran up to him. It was 11 o'clock. He's going somewhere. I'm going somewhere, coming home from a game, telling him he was my first crush ever. Hi, I'm Erin Andrews. I work on College Game Day, but you're my first crush ever. And I just want to tell you, thank you for shut up. One cool ass story though, you think about giving it, paying it forward and, with your parents and everything. When I worked for ESPN, no, actually Fox, I got to cover the World Series and, I took my dad to Fenway. It was actually right after, the marathon and everything and how dramatic that was. But I brought my dad onto the field after they won. And then Fox said, we're going to go live, go inside the clubhouse, grab Big Poppy or whatever. Poppy actually came out in a tank top, goggles, champagne, sprayed all of us.
Of course she did.
Papa! And grabbed my dad and started swinging him around like a rag doll. And my dad was just like, this is fucking awesome. It was just so cool.
So cool. Oh, those stories are the best.
We both have our motivation and inspiration to be in sports broadcasting was our dads. And I think to be able to have those moments with them, you had that, the World Series, I got to bring my dad to the 2019 Masters, front row, amen corner, top of the leaderboard, starts falling off, Tiger's inching his way up. And I'm like, we might be able to see this. And then we go to 16 or second row at 16, he birdied 16. And I sat there and I was like, holy shit, I'm going to be able to experience Tiger winning the Masters with my dad. And awesome. Our parents don't ask for anything. All they ever want is for us to be happy and healthy and do what we love. And so to have access or those moments where we can share them with our parents, that's the greatest gift in the world.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Giving the fam those kind of memories, those kind of moments, it's you can't put a price tag on it.
My daughters don't like watching sports with me yet. How do I start to convince them to like watching sports? Is it the haircut? I got to start playing with the games? Is that the key?
Doctor, barbershop, school. Mm-hmm. Just centered around that. So they're not interested in football?
I think they're so young. Wyatt, I think she would do it now. She usually wants to watch some Disney movie or another thing yet. But hopefully, I'm hopeful that it's going to start to happen here coming up. I got to start coming up with a game. I think that's the way. I got to figure out some way that we're doing something and playing while the game's happening, because the attention span's not there. These kids this day, they can't sit down and watch.
No.
Like they just want the screen to be changing continually. Stimuli.
Yeah.
Crack. Give it to me.
I think that's also what was so special about, Erin and I have talked about it, like with women and young viewerships. Like Taylor's impact cannot be overlooked. Like those little girls that maybe didn't have an interest in football and then sit down because it's her, like that, the commercials and the different like little videos that you see that now all of a sudden the dads have a bond with their daughter over her, like is so special. Again, as two women who have made a career out of this because of their dads, to have those moments, like who knows what kind of impact that will have later on in their lives in a myriad of different ways. But it's really special to see.
That was just it for me, was just having that time with my dad, because my dad worked the weekends. He was, on TV at night, so I didn't get to see him. So that was like our special time to do that. So maybe you carve that out as your special time with your kids. I don't know.
I like that free time. I mean, I'd rather watch football than some of the other things we're doing. I think also you just mentioned Taylor and how much she's gotten girls into the sport and dads and daughters together, which that's one of the coolest things I get when people talk about Taylor and Travis, and hearing from dads or hearing from daughters about that. It's an awesome thing. But also, like, how much do you guys think about how many women you've been impacted that watch sports? Like, Kylie was a communications major. She raved about both of you guys and how much she's loved, like, the platform that you've put women on in sports. Like, do you guys often think about that and how many women look to you guys as like role models for being involved in sports?
Thank you for saying that. Thank you, Kylie. That's high praise from you. But there was a young lady, her name's Alexandra. She works as a Patriots reporter. She has for the last 5 years. She's been in the industry for 10 years. And as I was walking out on Thursday night, she handed me a handwritten note and wrote the nicest thing about Erin and I, and I don't ever like to think like, oh, inspiration, whatever, but it was so well said that, she watched Erin and I do this over the last few years and kind of were, behind the scenes, I guess, a motivation for her to do it as well. And now she's doing it, and she's doing it on a big stage. And again, Erin and I have been in this industry for 20 years. So when I have moments like that, or even get anyone recognizing that maybe we might have, I don't know, dare I say, inspired them, like that's really special. And I don't ever take that for granted, because I'll be honest, and I told your wife this on her podcast, there was some women that were not so nice to me coming through as I was
surprising to me.
Ascending.
Why?
I'll just say, I mean, women can be catty, and look, and men can be catty too. It's not just limited to female gender, but it jealousy or these are few and far between. These are very coveted positions, and so look, there's a competitiveness that unfortunately turns into cattiness. And I always made it a point, because I will never forget those people, the individuals that were not so nice. And I was like, if there's anyone, I understand that this seat is a special privilege to sit in, but there will be a time and a place where I have to pass that on. You guys know, in the industry and the positions that you play and the sport that you play, there comes a time where there's going to be the next younger, faster, bigger, stronger person. And so it's like, you don't want to give up the seat, but at least help that person along the way. So I'm grateful of the women that were nice to me, but the ones that I will always remember, the ones that were not so nice. So,
I think for the longest time, even now, I was Tom Rinaldi the other day. We were talking. He said to me, "You're not a tourist with how much you love the sport. I live and breathe it. Not like you guys. I mean, believe me, I get that. That's a different kind of lifestyle and dedication, but I'm obsessed with it because it's the only thing I love talking about besides my family. I look up to you guys so much. I look up to your families, what you've been through. And a lot of that is because of who I ended up marrying and watching his journey and knowing what it takes behind the scenes, especially when you're not a superstar or anything like that, but you love the game so much. I love football, and there's nothing more I want to do than be out there. And so I feel like when people come up to me, especially dads, and they say, I want my little girl to do this, I want her to be like you, that's, I think, what's breaking me down a lot more than it used to, especially now that I have Mac, because I want my kids to be you. I do. I want them to attack life like both of you did and, or do. And so I think that's the thing that's like hitting me harder than ever, and also, I'll echo that about Kylie as well. When she had me on the podcast and she just mentioned that, Kylie's no bullshit. Like she knows what's real and what's not. And when she just said, hey, you've done this and I've looked, that hit me. Like I got, tears in my eyes because she knows the people that care and love it and respect the players and the coaches and the organizations like Charissa and I do. So that means a lot to me when you're kind of stopped and like Charissa got that note the other day. Those are nice reminders.
Absolutely. I bet.
It's the best. Do you guys remember your first broadcast? You've done so many.
Welcome to broadcasting moment.
Were you proud of it? Did you black out? Do you remember exactly what you said?
I remember my first ESPN one. Like I worked with the Tampa Bay Lightning. That was my first real gig out of college. I was the sideline reporter. I mean, Jarrett loves to watch those, like, if they're showing the Stanley Cup and he's like, look at Green Machine. I thought I was so great. The Tampa Bay Lightning were playing the Calgary Flames in the Stanley Cup final. I worked for ABC. I got to do it. It's Game 7 back in Tampa. The team I got my first job with. And you know what? My mom and dad and we went to the West Shore Mall and we went to Ann Taylor and I picked out a green top that I thought would be fire for Game 7.
Let's go.
So Jarrett loves when they start playing that. He's like, look at the Green Machine there with the old brown lip liner and all that.
Oh my gosh.
My first ESPN game, they threw me after I got, I did that for ESPN. They threw me on Saturday Night Football, which was, such a huge deal. And I think it was Virginia Tech, USC. And it was somewhere. It wasn't even at their stadium. It was such a big night for those two teams. And, I remember we had a jib cam. Jason, you know the one because I think you guys use it. They had a jib cam and I was gripping that microphone so hard, but I also was standing with my legs like this. Like I was bracing myself like a cheerleader, like the old. And my producer, after I nailed my hit, goes, hey, great job. So next time we do this, close your legs.
I needed a good base.
CT, what about you?
When I, worked in HR, then I moved into production and I was like, I want to, be in sports broadcasting. They're like, cool. Good luck with that. So I work in production. And so I took whatever job was available in the production because it was remember all the RSNs, like the Fox Sports Rocky Mountain or Fox Sports Pittsburgh.
Yep.
So I moved to Denver. And I became a production assistant and I just worked behind the scenes and I did anything I could to learn the trade and all that kind of stuff. And so then they were like, well, we're going to send you out to like local bars and, kind of interview fans and all that kind of stuff. So that was my first on air experience was in a bar. And I was like, well, this is weird. So natural in this environment.
I'm in my element.
Yeah, these are my people in here. So then that got parlayed into they let the girl go that was on air as their Rockies reporter, the Colorado Rockies. And so they were like, we'll give you a shot. And if you're okay, then we'll give you another shot. And then they kept giving me shots. And so that turned into a 2-year contract, which was awesome. Anyways, so that was my first on-air experience. But my first welcome to TV moment, TV in a cold environment moment was I'm working for the Big Ten Network. It is a Golden Gophers game. We are outside.
You know the one.
I got the microphone. All right. Coach says da-da-da-da-da. And the play cock. Play. Oh, no. My mouth is frozen.
Oh, yeah.
I can't correct myself. So finally I just go, Tom.
You guys got it from here.
And that's the worst, Jason. I don't know if you feel this way on air. It's like once you stumble, it's like, and then you try to correct it. It's almost like lying. The cover up, it's like, my
mouth was frozen. It was just a wrap.
Oh, that's funny. Do you think it's easier to get into sports broadcasting now or versus when you guys first started? What do you think of the current landscape?
I think the one thing that's cool is there's a lot of avenues. Like these teams have their own like digital, social production studios that are nicer than what I was ever, introduced to before I got to Fox or ESPN. So I think there's a lot more opportunities in terms of how you get into the industry. But I will say this, Leslie Visser gave me this piece of advice, and I don't know if you're just talking about being a female in the industry, but I say this to young girls, I kind of copy her, but being a female helps you get your foot in the door, but in order for you to stay, you have to work your tail off. And I think that's because of being a female, right? And that's the chip I have on my shoulder. But yeah, I do think there's a lot more opportunities. What do you think, CT?
Yeah, I mean, in the digital age that we live in, I mean, there's so many different platforms. I mean, you could start your own channel. You could start, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a YouTube channel, any of these things. There's so many whereas for us, I mean, 20 years ago, it was, the CBS, the ABC, the, Fox. I mean, there was only a couple. And as I mentioned, those regional channels as well, or your local news. I remember when I was working my way through production, somebody said to me, a news director, and he was like, you send a resume reel. And, for me, it was on this, I took it from a beta and a DVC Pro and I put it on a CD. And he's like, there's going to be different news directors that are going to put this tape in for all of 5 seconds. So if you don't capture their attention in the first 5 seconds, it's a wrap. You're going to be thrown in this pile with a bunch of other tapes of people that want to do this. And so when I was younger and I knew I wanted to do it, I took a paper towel roll and a tennis ball and I taped it together and I made a microphone and I took my parents', old camcorder thing and I set it up on the ledge and I begged my brother to be Jay Buhner. I was like, can you please be Jay Buhner so I can interview you? And I made this whole thing. And he got a free bat, when you go to the Mariners games, it's batting, helmet night or whatever. So he put 2 years older than me. And he's like, oh, this is so stupid, Charissa, so stupid. And I was like, please, I'll do whatever you want. Just please, can you please just do this? So he's like, fine. Cute. So he stands there and I interview him with this. Yeah, I mean, I was like, you can't be Ken Griffey. I mean, unfortunately, I would have liked that, but I'm trying to make this as realistic.
That video would have been epic.
And I ended up using that on my resume reel.
That's on your reel. That was on your reel.
Yeah, because I was like, how am I going to get these news directors' attention in the first 5 seconds? And so it was like a 10-year-old, little girl interviewing,
cute.
her brother. So, anyways, those were the things that we had to do. Nowadays, with social media, you don't have to,
create your own show on
attention.
Instagram,
You just have to get followers, and you have to do all of that stuff. Where it's there's a following. There's a whole different avenue that you can approach it from, which is great. I mean, the more the merrier. That's what I say. I mean, here's my thing about that too, and welcoming in everybody. There's room at the table for everybody. And if there isn't, then get another table and build a group over there. So, I think it's awesome that if anybody wants to do this job, there's opportunities. But again, as you work your way up, there's those coveted ones that are few and far between.
Right. CT, do you remember any of your features or packages that were on your resume reel? I can only think of one that I know. And I remember I was editing it and I was trying to do Phil Collins in the air. Do you remember one of yours? Oh yeah.
Not as dramatic as a Phil Collins in the air.
This was, you had to do the recording and the editing, and this wasn't just that's crazy.
And mine was awful.
Chasey, could you imagine if we had to edit this show? Oh my
God. Edit, carry the tripod. You had to set up the shot. You had to do, voiceovers. You had to do all of that. But I think that's good to be able to learn all facets of it. But let's go back to you guys editing this show.
Okay. Yeah.
They would never get out by
I don't
Wednesday,
even know
that's for damn
what
sure.
application they use. I can't find the print button on this fucking computer. I would have no chance. I don't know how to work any of this stuff. If you told me to print something on the printer right here, I would Do you guys have a favorite sport that you like covering?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Doing it. The NFL.
NFL for sure.
Yeah. I was a part of college forever, even, doing college game day, and it was great. And I loved it so much. And I'm grateful of it. Really just formed me. It taught me a lot. I mean, it did. And I made great relationships with the guys that I worked with, but I knew, and this was a big thing when I left ESPN to go to Fox, I was like, am I doing the right thing? Should I not? I mean, I talked to Coach K, I talked to Chip Kelly, I talked to a lot of people that I worked with, and I was like, is this the right thing to do? It's the best sport to cover. It is awesome. And it's because of you guys. It is. It's just.
Are football players the best? NFL players are the best to cover, you think?
Hockey's pretty fun too. Hockey's a time.
The athletes that play in the NHL are by far the wildest. They are the
hidden personalities,
of them.
man.
Oh yeah. Their party, their fun time. And they will say more outlandish things. I feel like NFL guys are more buttoned up and kind of toe the line mostly. Whereas I feel like NHL guys, you'll get some great sound bites out of these dudes.
There's a little bit of that protect the shield from the NFL, where hockey, because I covered hockey for a couple years when it was Versus. It became part of NBC's package. But I love playoff hockey. There is nothing fucking better. I got to say, like, yes, of course, playoff, the NFL, that's my number one. But right below that is playoff hockey. I'll never forget the Montreal Canadiens were an 8 seed. They knocked off the Capitals. Then they knocked off the Penguins. Then they took the Flyers. I think it was to 4. And just going and working a game at the Bell Center in Montreal. And like, it was an awesome experience. And I don't need to tell Erin because she's been to more hockey games than she can ever remember. Jarrett winning 2 Stanley Cups and like that whole experience. But like, hockey is incredible. I loved college. My first ever college football game I worked was Michigan App State. That big,
the one, you guys, where they
block field goal. Yeah.
That's a fun one.
Yeah.
Right there.
And I remember I
wild.
was standing there and I was like, I mean, I'm obviously like, understand the game enough to be like, this is a D3 school. This is, this big upset. And so, I even remember my opening stand up. You could rob a bank in Boone today because no one is watching. Everyone's watching this game.
Right.
And then it ended up being a big upset. We got in the car afterwards and Tom Brenneman and Charles Davis were the play-by-play and analysts. And they go, well, how does that rank of all the games you've worked? And I was like, well, this was my first one. And they're like, number one?
It's all downhill from here.
Why are you here?
And this is very odd. There were 3 banks robbed in.
Exactly. Boone, North Carolina had a lot of bank robberies that day. But no, it was college football's cool. The jump around at Camp Randall. I mean, Erin got to work SEC. I'm so jealous. I never got to work an SEC football game.
Yeah, I want to go back to these SEC places.
I've never even been
one of them, man.
What?
I've only played in one.
Neither has Jarrett. He's never gotten to see any of it. I'm like, you have no idea. It's like Toronto Maple Leafs on, it's the next level.
Now,
I'll tell you.
So seriously, I know you went to Florida. What's the best environment, in all honesty, on game day? Because I've heard one like routinely, and I want to know if it matches up.
When I was, working college game day, Saban, Alabama, it was the end all be all. I was like, I'm getting my kid. I'm giving him to Saban. It's going to be like Simba, the circle of life. He's going to make my kid go to the national championship and get him in the league. So Alabama is fire. LSU at night.
That is what everyone says. Death Valley. Everyone
it's the
unanimously.
Next level. It's rocking. It's shaking. Those people have been in the parking lot over the weekend. They are marinated perfectly. It is shrimp etouffee. You know how much shrimp etouffee I had working at ESPN? That's fire. Ole Miss is fun for, a 3:00 game, but LSU is amazing. It's really great.
People just park in the middle of the street and they just take their car and their keys with them. Like, what is happening?
Jesse Palmer, who I also worked Thursday Night Football with, he used to talk about when he played for Florida. I don't know. It was a big matchup. It was like 1 versus whatever. Florida rolls into Death Valley. And he said, they're on the bus with Coach Spurrier and people are just shaking the Gators bus. And he said there's gators hanging from the trees. And Coach Spurrier was like, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Old days Cajuns. Like that, those stories, so much fun. Yeah. College football. It was fun to cover, but I like going to Arrowhead.
With the NIL and conference realignment, it feels different.
It's different.
And it's still awesome game. That's, the sport is still great. It just felt different when, like the Pac-10 was the Pac-10 and I don't know. There just is like a different vibe to it, but that's,
Yeah, it's definitely in a weird state right now with the conferences and the NIL stuff and teams are.
Now it has 20 teams. I don't even know. I couldn't even name all the teams.
I know. It's just different.
Kids are like playing for like 3 different schools. Like it's nuts. It's
driving Bentleys and But the plus ones, you, Jarrett, Steve, you guys have to go to LSU together when everybody's like done with their, playing. That would, you guys would crush it.
Yes.
CT, I was going to ask you, when you covered NHL, and we both did, was there ever a time, because the injuries with those guys are so different from, hockey players will come and do an interview with half their face hanging off. And I did a game, Jeremy Roenick, that shows how old I am, half his face was off. Like he had gotten it all stitched up and was.
Yeah, he had to wear that chin guard for a while. I remember this.
And I looked at him and I go, oh my God. And then I just blanked out on my
Making you talk?
Yeah, I go, does that hurt? And he was like, yes, really bad. best interviews because it was like half his face was hanging off. But did you ever do one where you're like, holy shit?
No, I didn't have that experience. But when you said Jeremy Roenick, I remember I worked in Olympics with him in Vancouver. Nobody, I repeat, and I could out drink Jeremy Roenick.
I've heard this.
He is a fucking maniac in the best way possible. Oh my God.
I want to play golf with Roenick. I've heard he is just a blast on the course, but what
they all are. They're so much fun.
People.
Speaking of good people, which was a really, really fun story. We had a chance to, and Casey, hang out with Wayne and Janet and you guys all together. And it was, I guess I wasn't really paying attention to my husband in the moment. Like he has, hung out with Wayne a little bit, but not anything to like that personal of that night. Okay. And my husband was glowing. It was like,
how could you
I was, oh my God. And it was so cool, Chris. I don't know what you think, but like the boys that we were with, just asking Wayne all the questions, like seeing somebody like Greg Olsen, just, Wayne, let me ask you something. So this 3 tight end formation, no, I'm kidding. But you know what? Like Greg, those guys, it was just so cool. And what's so great about Wayne, and I think the NHL, is just a normal dude. And sat there and told Charissa what a great job she does, and Greg, and just really, really just awesome to be around.
It's Wayne Gretzky. Full stop, Wayne Gretzky. I mean, you're just down. But that just reminds me of the text chain that we're on, and Greg Olsen does not care if we tell this story
ever.
Because Wayne, I don't know who's on the text chain. There's a couple of us, including Greg, Erin and I, myself,
Dean, Kevin,
Blandino. Okay, Kevin, and after that night, it was a couple of days later, like last week, I guess Wayne had texted Greg. He got his phone number and he just wrote, "Hey, this is 99. Okay. There's only 199.
There's only one.
It's not JJ Watt.
Yeah. He actually said, "Hey, I just want to tell you, it was great hanging out with you. And I just was watching you and you do a really good job." And he also gave a little bit of a hint. He said, "Janet and I really enjoyed getting to know you." So Greg sends a picture of the text to all of us on this chain. And Greg's response is, "I'm sorry, who is this?"
He wrote, "Who is this?"
What?
Oh my God.
He had to be joking. No way.
He wasn't.
I mean, he had a few ones that night. I think we all had a few ones that night. That was a good one. My guy came in from Dallas. He was working a game in Dallas and came in just to get some food over at 1587. Had no idea
God.
He was going to run into the great one.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
remember that game? That was the back and forth, that was the Giants Dallas game, and it went back and forth 100 different times. And he was like, "Oh, I'm not missing it." He is such an animal, Greg. What a time.
The best.
That's awesome. Yeah, Wayne is. I had 2 posters on my wall as a kid. I had Wayne Gretzky and Mark McGuire from when he broke the record for the home run derby. Very odd. I was not fans of either of the teams.
Sounds like a 90s kid right there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Bring steroids back, baby.
Hey, I had a Brian Bosworth poster.
Yeah.
Oh, the Boz.
What you got to do, just take steroids and you get up on the wall, kids. Erin, you just touched on the hockey players. There is like this, just being like regular guys. I feel like there's a beautiful culture with hockey where if you even start to get a big head, your teammates will rip you apart ruthlessly.
Oh, immediately.
And that's
just
something I've always
chop
loved.
you down one.
And then Roenick with the cut, they brag about their teeth being missing. They'll take their teeth out at the bar and set it down on a can. And it's a badge of honor at being marred for life for those guys.
And I can say this because I married one. They're some of the best looking dudes you've ever seen. They are gorgeous. But
man, dude.
All our,
and then they take
friends,
their teeth out and you're like, ooh.
Well, on the Kings and our friends would walk around with gold prongs hanging down in the front because they're like, what's the point? It's just going to get, bashed in during the season. I'll wait to the end of the year to get the veneers put in. But fun fact, we have incredible health insurance with the NHL. We still have it. You want to know what we don't have good insurance on?
Dental?
Yes.
Oh, no way.
Of course.
They lobbied for it. The players was like, nah.
The owners are like, yeah, we're not agreeing to dental for life. No chance.
I'd love to ask you guys about some of your current coworkers. What former player has gone into the broadcasting world that has surprised you guys the most?
Former player that's good. I had a really, I'll just start while Erin thinks. I had a really unique situation with Amazon because everybody except for Tony had just come from playing.
Oh, yeah.
So Sherm just finished playing, Whit just finished playing, and Fitz
they were
finished
all
playing.
fresh.
So they had never done TV before. I remember we were in our first production meeting, and in the rundown, it said banter in the rundown, and they all look at me and they go, "What does that mean?" And I go, "Oh Jesus!" I was like, "What do you mean?
Head of the class.
You don't know what banter is?
Come on.
Pretty self-explanatory, guys. Just start talking.
Just shoot the shit, boys.
But it was, I have been so impressed with how, they have been unbelievable. They have, we're now in our 4th year, and you would never know that these guys had never done television before we started Amazon.
Seriously.
So that was an awesome, it speaks to, do your homework and it shows, and also the personality. And also, Amazon allows you, very much like Fox says, it's why we love working for these companies. It's like, be you. They don't try to make you someone you're not. So if Fitz wants to rip his shirt off or wear a Hawaiian shirt, he can do that. If Whit wants to have his hoodie on under his jacket, he can do that. Anyways, it's just, I was very impressed with those guys' ability to jump in so quickly after, Jason, as you know, you're done playing, because it looks easier than it actually is on TV. Everyone's like, oh, anyone can do it. And you're like, okay, then come try it. It's not as easy as it looks. So
sure. And I think we saw that with Tom Brady. I think he was the most scrutinized person to get into a booth, especially last year. Right. And I'm proud of him. I really thought, like you said, you get in, you think you can do it. And it's like, and I'm not saying that about Tom, but everyone has their opinion, and they let it be known what they thought of him. And it was funny. We were, I think we were doing Tampa. Maybe it was Tampa Eagles week 4. And I was sitting in my hotel room, and they were playing last year's Eagles-Bucks game. And I texted TB and I just said, wow, listening to you in this game, which was your 4th game of the season versus now, it's just night and day. And that's a testament. Right. And I'm not surprised, because I think all of us know what his work ethic was going to be heading into the job. I think I'm more annoyed about how good he's gotten and how quickly. I'm like, come on, do you do everything well? This is crazy. And you look fantastic.
He looks so good. I need to figure out what he's doing. His hair, his skin.
He's not going to bars, Jason.
Is that what he doesn't go to bars?
He doesn't go to bars.
I'm not willing to give that up.
We're never going to here.
I don't know if he's embracing the grays, Jason. I think you embrace the grays.
You guys know this. You've been around enough of us, and you've been around enough guys in the locker room. You can tell when you sit down with players that you're like, you'd be really good at this, by the way. Jason, we were telling you that nonstop when we would deal with you in Philadelphia, and Trav, we're in your ear about it as well. You can just tell the guys that'll be able to shine.
Jason's been killing it. One of my favorite segments Jason's ever done is his piece on the veteran he did last week in Green Bay. That was an awesome piece.
Yeah.
Kept it together. That was awesome.
You're the best.
All right, that was just a little bit of a brother bragging.
It was very sweet.
I think we can keep this thing moving to our last segment, which is we got to ask. You guys don't have to answer, but it's you guys can tell us to fuck off. But I think these are fun questions to ask. And I'll start it off with who is the hardest coach that you have ever had a sideline interview with?
Lloyd Carr. I'll just start right here. When they were losing, and that Michigan App State game, he blew me off. He didn't stop. He was like, peace out.
At halftime?
Yeah,
at halftime. Like, and remember, this was my first ever game. So I was like, oh shit. Like, right. And then I'm like, me now, I would have ran his ass down and tackled him and been like, no, you're going to answer this question.
You got an obligation.
No, Lloyd Carr. Lloyd Carr was my, that stands out.
For sure.
I would say Coach Belichick. And not because he was ever disrespectful, but you knew what you would get, even if they were up by 30. And I love a challenge. And I remember just asking Jarrett, even texting him during the game. I'm like, shit, I'm in my head about this. Like, I want coach this to go well. And Jarrett would always say, it's not about you. This has nothing to do with you. This is how it is. Like, this is, his demeanor on the field. Yeah. And because off the field, I would say to coach, hey, how do I get you to like me? And he's like, what are you talking about? I like Thank you. But that was just how he handled things. So I took it as a mission. Coach Saban, early in his career, when I was doing college, I was very because he was very direct, but then,
he's similar. Yeah.
Yeah. But I cracked him a bit. So
nice. What about the opposite? Favorite coach? Like, who's like somebody where you're like, I get to talk to him and he's just going to kill it. This is going to be great.
Yeah. Happy or sad or pissed off, Kyle Shanahan is freaking great at halftime because he will tell you everything and he doesn't candy coat it. Yeah. Chris and I have talked about it a lot, and he'll also do it with a full blown sprint. So it's like, your bra better be supportive. You better have like great shoes. Like, I'm like ducking in and out of you guys. Like, sorry, Jason. Like, you don't, and because he's going, and you better have 2 ready to go because that's all you're going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, we just talked about it. I was so grateful that Mike Vrabel came up to set.
Yeah.
I never ever take for granted. You guys have just played a game. And, you want to go take a shower, or you got, for him, he's got the post game podium stuff and all this kind of stuff. So, coming up and doing an interview from him, Sean Payton's always been great.
The best.
We worked that 1 year together at Fox, but although my man, I got to work with him. You ask him a question and it's 40 minutes later and he has not answered the question. And I'm like, Sean, the game's over. What is happening? So we're going to work on him being more succinct, but we love Sean. Mike Vrabel. Yeah. I don't know. Mike Tomlin's another OG that's just going to always
the lines he delivers are he was great. Just this past week. He's a classic.
Yeah.
We've had an idea on the show for a boyfriend whistle. What do you think of this idea? Like almost like like a
whistle. Like
you're the coach. Like take the trash out. Like, what are you doing? I don't know.
The idea is that men are coachable. So if you need chores done around the house, you get a whistle to get their attention to snap into line and do it. Or if you just mention it to them while they're doing something else, it won't register. Yeah. So
to do chores?
The idea was to get
anything.
A boyfriend whistle.
Whenever they need to coach up their husband.
Oh my God.
I'm not mad at it.
I'm ordering a whistle right now off Amazon. Steve, you're going to have a long night ahead of you, sweetheart. This thing is going to be here in 10 minutes. Get going.
Oh no, Jimmy.
I mean, Steve is very coachable. I will say he always just tells me to write down what I want him to do. He's like, I will do whatever you want me to do. You just have to write it down. Because if you just tell me while I'm doing other things, I'm going to forget. And then you're going to say to me, you weren't listening to me because I wasn't listening to you because I was doing other things. So if I just write it down, but I'm now all in on and we'll even play a little blow the whistle in the background while we do it.
Gilly? See, I don't need that for chores in my house because mine is on me about staying, keeping it tight. So yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Big time. But yeah, other things, I'm down for it. Let us know when we can pick that up.
All right. We got to get a New Heights whistle on the market.
Yeah.
All right. When traveling with friends, what makes a good travel +1?
Keeping track of the passport. I don't want to be responsible for it. Steve is way more responsible than me. So since we all travel a lot for work, every single person on here, when I travel recreationally, I am at that airport bar or that airport lounge and I am ready to get in the mix. So I don't want to be responsible for having to get to the gate on time. I don't want to deal with the passport. Like, I'm already on my vacation the second I get in that Uber to go to the airport. So like, please just be responsible for me while we're at the airport. And that makes a good travel partner.
But I think Steve and Jarrett are the same with this, Charissa, with our vacations we've gone on. Like, they deal with, I know Jarrett deals with the reservations. He deals with the cars that are picking us up. Like, he's very big into the schedule and, hey guys, we're going to do this. And sometimes a little too much. Like, hey babe, Clark Griswold, relax. We don't need to have the whole trip planned out. Maybe one day we sleep in. I don't know.
He's a planner.
So yeah, he's really good with that. And I think when he's not around, I kind of panic. Like, wait, I have to plug in my gloves myself and heat them myself and bring our stuff down to the lockers. What are you talking about?
Erin, we have to tell. So this past off season, Erin and I did, and Steve and Jarrett did a Griswold European vacation. So we were almost 10 days or 2 weeks we were in Europe together, and the guys planned it all. They did everything. So Erin and I had a talking with one another before this trip started. Like, we are not allowed to fucking complain about a goddamn thing because we planned the whole thing. So
there we go.
But the one night we did complain was when Jarrett asked a teammate, former teammate who was European, of where to go to dinner one night.
Oh no.
We were in Monaco and there were these guys that were there on a bike. They were on a cycling trip with a bunch of dudes. Okay.
Prostitutes that showed up. Yeah.
Yeah, there they were.
Not our better half.
There they were. Yep. And so as we're asking these guys about their cycling trip, they're like, oh yeah. I'm like, so do you bring your own bike? And they're like, no. And I'm like, definitely a cover up on the old cycling trip.
Oh my God. I don't even know where to go, Jason. It's on you.
As a girl dad of 4, at some point, I will have 4 teenage girls living under one roof. Is there any advice that you guys have? What is just...
I would, so I remember this vividly, where I saved up my babysitting money and Janko jeans were like really in then. And so I came down the stairs in these Janko jeans and my dad looked at me and goes, what the fuck are you wearing? And I go, oh, these are new jeans. And he goes, not in this house, they're not. And I was devastated that he wasn't going to let me dress like the skater that I wanted to dress like and whatever. But he always had the thing like, it's my house, my rules. And he was like, we're not doing that. And so I would say along those same lines where it's like, you know, my dad also had this expression, it's not my job to be your friend. It's my job to be your parent. And then when you turn 18, you get to decide if you want to be friends with me. So it's like, as hard as it is, I'm sure, because girls will like, you know, butter you up and all this stuff. It's like you just stay. And I know you and Kylie are very aligned on this. I've heard you say like, we don't want to raise brats, and you won't, because.
And I loved that, Jason.
Because it's like, it's your, I mean, to send these children out into the world and be good human beings, it starts at home. And that is a thankless job. I don't have kids. I won't pretend, but I just know like for me that growing up in a household with discipline, but a lot of love, like I knew what the rules were. I knew that my parents, you know, like had the best intentions, and like kids want boundaries. They want to know like what the rules are. So I would say like, just even if they're girls and you feel like you got to like be a little bit lenient because it will help them later on to not just always like give them the out because they're, you know, little girls.
Okay.
See, it's crazy. I'm running into this at my house. I did grow up with boys. I mean, it was my sister and, you know, but I know Jarrett, and obviously had structure throughout his whole life. He moved away from home when he was 14 to go play junior hockey. Jarrett is easier on Mac than I am. And Mac's only 2, but like prime example, you know, he's kind of acting up yesterday. And I said, Jarrett, now's your time. And he's just like, I know. It blows my mind, because I am very much like, and I loved when you talked about Disney World and your daughter, and you just said, I don't want to raise brats, because yesterday I decided, hey, let's, no, you're going to have half of it. I love that. Because that's how I feel. And so it is a real balance here, but now today, I felt like before he left for the rink, I was like, wow, our parenting skills, like we need to get on the same, you know, level here. But so when does that happen, Jason? I'm curious about that.
We're on the same page almost all the time. I would say very routinely. We're both pretty disciplinarian when it comes to the girls.
I've seen you. You're amazing. Yeah. But you have good kids.
I will say the girls, the only girl I grew up with is Travis. So this is new territory to a certain extent for me as well.
Right.
How did I catch a stray in this?
When I first found out I was having Wyatt, I was like, okay, I'm not going to raise her any different than how I would raise a boy. Like I'm going to make her tough and like disciplined, and I'm not going to be like this, like daddy's daughter who's getting everything she wants. And then like the moment she came out, it was like very hard to not be that dad. Like it becomes very obvious exactly what you're talking about, Charissa, where it's like, it is very difficult when they look at me a certain way to not cave like instantaneously.
And especially those eyes on your girls. My gosh.
And I will say Kylie is better at resisting that than I am, 100%. So I could still though, listen, like the waffle story. If there's anything where I'll cave for like a treat or like something innocuous, but if it's like either being selfish or mean or lying or like any of like the big top of like, we're not going to put up with this, I'll for sure like put my foot down.
And I think in our house with the 2 girls, and I feel bad now for my mom, with this. My dad was always like, because we knew, dad wasn't at home during the day. It was always mom. And so we acted differently for dad. And I feel bad that I did that to my mom now. So obviously our relationships are, I'm so sorry, mom, because now Mac does that to me. But I feel like you'll always be a different role with daddy. So yeah, that's interesting when you have to figure out to be the disciplinarian.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about, and I know we all grew up in the same era where it was like, we didn't have cell phones and our parents weren't like calling us. When they would leave during summer vacation, they would leave that note, the proverbial note on the counter that was like, these were the chores for the day. And if you didn't get that shit done by the time we're home, you're in trouble. And it's like, I miss those days where it's like those, you understood what the rules were. And I'll never forget the garage door opened and I was like, shit, we haven't done it. And my dad was home and it was like, we're all running around trying to, do all the chores. But it was like, it was the rules were pretty clear cut. It's like, a simpler time, guys.
It'll be crazy. I mean, even in the next 10 years, what our kids will be doing with,
I know,
like AI and like all that stuff. It's kind of hard to even like comprehend. I'm trying to push off the phones.
Yeah, I was just thinking, even when I went to college, phones weren't a big thing. It was like you were real rich if you had a phone in college. And I used to drive, I mean, that's not even that far, but 2.5 hours to go from Tampa to Gainesville. And my parents were good with it. I didn't have a phone. Now you don't want your kid going down the street without a phone. It's wild how things have changed.
Our dad used to give us a calling card. Did you ever have those for the payphones?
Of course.
So whenever we went out to go play baseball at the field, if we ever needed a ride or anything like that,
go to the park.
We would pull out the card that dad gave us just so we could call him from the payphone.
It started off though. I was calling him collect. Just before he gave us the card, I would walk home from school in like elementary school, middle school, and I'd call my dad collect on a 1-800 number. And he would be like, stop calling me and get your ass home. I'm not paying for all of these calls. Stop asking me. You come straight home. And then he started thinking about it. He's like, I mean, it kind of is convenient to have a little calling card so that they can reach me if they need me.
Can you still call people collect?
I don't know. I don't even know payphones. Where's the last time I saw a payphone? I don't know.
Would star 69 still work?
Oh yeah, we did that too. When you wanted to prank people or find out who was calling.
Star 67.
So they couldn't star 69 you?
We're talking to some pros here.
Did you guys ever have girls like prank call you like any prank stories?
They did.
Well, I know, but I mean like one that's like, cause we would prank call like all the cute boys in school and that's like, they knew we were doing it, but prank calling.
I don't remember ever getting prank calls. I just remember listening in on all of Jason's calls. Just being the shitty little brother.
What's the best dirt you got?
Nothing. It was never anything exciting. It was just me feeling like I was like being a spy.
My sister was 5 years older than me and she was dating the high school quarterback. And I remember I played with Barbies until I was way too old. Like my dad should have stepped in and been like, hey, I think you're a little too old for this. This is getting weird. In the Barbie convertible in the dream house. And I was like in, 9th grade. He's like, that's enough. But I remember I think I was I'm not kidding, 7th grade. And the high school quarterback walked in my house and I was mortified. I threw the Barbie and I was like, hi, Brad. These are the neighbors' Barbies, not mine. Brad. I'm just so embarrassed that he's on me.
I think the last one is we're giving you guys the floor. Since we have acclaimed journalists on the pod, we want to give you guys the chance to maybe ask Jason a question.
Or Travis, say that.
Okay, so I always think about in an interview, Erin and I love doing sit-down interviews for a lot of different reasons. Get to, learn more about you guys, just have that like one-on-one, because sometimes in games and post it's just a different vibe when you actually get a sit-down interview. But I always want to ask this question. Is there a question that you wish somebody would have asked you and they never did?
Go Charissa.
God damn it.
And it could be about anything. It's like, because sometimes when those interviews are over and you're like, this is to get in our brains. We're like, oh God, did we ask the right questions? Did we do enough? Did we ask too many? Like, did we, whatever? And then I always think like, maybe there was a question they wanted me to ask and I didn't.
I love that.
I feel like I've never had that come across my mind, but I've always been appreciative of when I get asked about my family.
Yeah.
I think that shining light on my mom, my dad, Jason, our supporting cast around Cleveland Heights. I feel like I've always been like, those are the questions I want to answer more than anything else about football, because that's what's at the core of it all. So,
yeah, I think similar to what Travis is saying, a lot of the times you're answering questions about yourself, and it feels a little bit weird when you're kind of doing that. I guess like we had a great interview like that, Erin, when we did the whole line in Philadelphia.
That is one of my favorite interviews. It was one of my favorite good
because it was with the guys. It was like with the group. So
I fell in love with all of you that day. That was so special.
I think, maybe the best answer is kind of what Travis was saying, either the family or like about a teammate or something like that. Those are always the ones that I really enjoy the most as like an interviewer or interviewee.
I'm going to bring some humor to it. When I started in this industry, I had a lot of athletes tell me about people that interviewed them that had really bad breath. And that always stayed in my mind. I am a psycho when it comes to breath and interviews. So much so that in my pants, any of my pants that I am wearing during a game, there are 2 Listerine like containers and even the spray. And if I don't have them, I am like begging the trainers for something. I am begging the guys, the camera guys, anything in my nose, teeth. And then I have a story. I interviewed Ryan Howard one time. And I took in the Listerine thing, they were stuck together. So I think there was like 4 of them and I took it and my breath was so fresh. It hit him in the eyes. And I said to him, "Oh my God, are you crying?" And he goes, "No, but your breath is so fresh." Like it just got me in the eyes.
I think we've all had that experience of bad breath, and it's difficult to carry on a conversation. There's definitely some guys I could throw under the bus. I won't do it. But yeah,
I think of opposing players when you guys are talking so close. That's my one thing. I'm like, oh God, their breath must be tough. But yeah, you don't think about it during the game, huh? Yeah.
Have you noticed it ever on the field? I've more noticed my own teammates. You're sitting next to somebody in meetings, and then all of a sudden it's like, God damn it, he's having a day today. Like
nothing worse than somebody ripping ass in the huddle, though.
It happens like 3 or 4 times. Like, all right, listen, man, you got to get this under control. This is ridiculous. He's sitting right next to you.
This is the difference of sometimes, not all, because Erin and I are very honest with each other, but the difference between men and women is 2 guys walk into a party with the same shirt on and they come up to each other and like, "You look fucking great, man. Look at that shirt. What a great shirt. You look awesome."
Yeah.
2 women walk into a party with the same dress and they're on opposite ends going, "That bitch looks terrible in this dress. God damn it. It looks so bad." And it's
just making this dress look so bad.
It's so different. It's like men would be like, "Bro, your breath is awful. So here's a mint." And women would just like skirt around it and be like, "Anyone want a mint?" No, you're talking to Sarah over here. Sarah needs the whole outfit on.
Yeah, Clarissa, you guys are the fucking best. My face hurts so bad from laughing.
Overdue. Thank you for coming on. This was so much fun. I can't tell you. We laughed more here than we've laughed in a long time.
Exactly.
You guys are the best, seriously, and congrats on the success. Like, I mean, we, us, Erin and I, having come from this world from a long time ago, sitting with you guys in that random warehouse in Cleveland, like we're your biggest fans. So
yes,
love you guys. You're the best.
Bye, you guys. Thank you.
And that wraps up another episode of New Heights. That's right. Thank you to Charissa Thompson and Erin Andrews. And also, make sure you subscribe to the New Heights channel on YouTube and follow New Heights on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Travis Kelce has had plenty of viral moments since dating Taylor Swift, but this one might be one of the most wholesome yet. It all started when Taylor Swift had an unexpectedly sweet interaction with Erin Andrews and Charissa Thompson. And the moment Travis heard about it, his reaction was absolutely priceless. The story began during a broadcast when Erin and Charissa were seen chatting warmly with Taylor. It wasn't planned, it wasn't staged, and it definitely wasn't part of any media agenda. It was simply 3 women sharing a genuine moment of respect and affection. Taylor, as always, was kind, grounded, and effortlessly warm. Erin and Charissa have supported her and Travis from the beginning, and that friendliness showed instantly on screen. The clip quickly went viral. But the best part wasn't even what happened in the stadium. It was how Travis responded later. When Travis saw the clip, he couldn't hide the smile spreading across his face. His whole expression softened the way it does whenever Taylor is mentioned. Even before he spoke, his reaction said everything. Jason Kelce teased him, joking, "Dude, you're glowing again." And Travis just laughed because he knew exactly what his brother meant. Whenever it comes to Taylor, he has that unmistakable grin, the one fans have started calling the Swift smile. On their podcast, Travis playfully leaned back, shook his head, and said, "Man, I love Erin and Charissa. Those two are the best. They've had Taylor's back since day one." He talked about how meaningful it was to see Taylor connecting so naturally with people in his world, women he trusts, respects, and has known for years. According to him, seeing Taylor welcomed with so much warmth makes everything even more special. Jason chimed in, reminding viewers that Erin Andrews was one of the first people who openly rooted for Taylor and Travis to happen. She literally said she wanted them together long before the world knew they were dating. Travis jokingly said, "Yeah, Erin might have started all this. She's the Cupid of the NFL now." His laugh was soft, affectionate, the kind of laugh that comes from deep appreciation. As the moment continued, Travis explained that Taylor wasn't just being polite, she was genuinely excited to talk to Erin and Charissa. He shared that Taylor values kindness and sincerity above everything else, and that's why she instantly bonds with people who show genuine love, not for her fame, but for who she is. Erin and Charissa have always defended Taylor from unnecessary criticism, always voiced support, and always made it clear that Taylor belongs in the NFL world just as much as anyone else. Fans noticed Travis's eyes light up when he described the interaction. He said something that melted viewers. "When people treat her with love, it means a lot. And when she returns that love, that's why she's who she is." His voice got softer, and you could feel the affection in every word. He also mentioned how refreshing it is to see women supporting women so openly, especially in sports, where the culture can sometimes be harsh or competitive. Seeing Taylor, Erin, and Charissa share a sweet moment wasn't just fun for fans, it felt powerful. It represented unity, support, and respect across both entertainment and sports worlds. At one point, Jason tried teasing Travis again, saying, "You're blushing again, Trav." And Travis just rolled his eyes and said, "Man, stop," while still smiling because he knew he absolutely was. He was proud. Proud of Taylor, proud of the people around him, and proud that the two worlds he loves are blending so naturally. Travis then shared that Taylor told him afterward how much she enjoyed talking to Erin and Charissa. She said they were warm, funny, confident, and made her feel welcome. Travis couldn't stop smiling when he repeated her words. He added that Taylor appreciates people who are genuine, people who don't treat her like a headline but like a normal human being. And Erin and Charissa did exactly that. He also explained that Taylor's comfort matters more to him than people realize. Because for Travis, it's not just about winning games or creating viral moments. It's about building a life with someone who supports him, understands him, and fits into his world in the most natural way. Seeing Taylor happy, relaxed, and embraced by the people he respects meant everything to him. As the conversation went on, both brothers joked, laughed, and teased Travis. But underneath the humor, there was real emotion. Travis said the moment reminded him of how lucky he is, not just to have Taylor, but to have friends and colleagues who uplift the people he loves. That's why his reaction was so adorable, so unfiltered. You could see the joy written all over his face. Toward the end of the podcast, Jason summed up the moment perfectly. "It's good to see the people around you loving the person you love. That's rare." Travis nodded, and for a second he looked almost emotional as he agreed. "Yeah, that means a lot." Fans across social media agreed. The clip of Taylor smiling with Erin and Charissa spread quickly, but the video of Travis reacting? That became even bigger. Because it wasn't rehearsed, it wasn't dramatic, it was pure, real affection. It showed a side of Travis that people adore, the loyal, soft-hearted, deeply loving side. As the video wraps up, the message is clear. This wasn't just a cute celebrity moment. It was a glimpse into a relationship built on support, trust, family, and simple human connection. And Travis Kelce's adorable reaction proved once again just how much Taylor Swift means to him, and how beautifully their world continued to merge.